I really need advice regarding a situation that has been ongoing for over a year now. My name is Jacob. I am 31 years old and I live in Toronto. About a year ago, I broke up with my girlfriend Emily after being together for 4 years. Since then, Emily hasn't left me alone and actively tries to sabotage my new relationships. Background: Emily and I met when we were both 26 through a mutual friend. We clicked instantly, and after a few months, we became a couple. During our 4 years together, we built a stable and loving relationship. We shared many interests, including our passion for software development, which allowed us to support each other both professionally and personally. For the first 2 years, our relationship was filled with joy and plans for the future. We often talked about having kids and starting a family. We dreamed of living together, maybe buying a house, and creating a home full of love and security. Emily was always the one taking the initiative in planning our future steps. We visited realtors, discussed different neighborhoods, and even started saving money to realize our dreams. However, toward the end of our relationship, Emily began to change drastically. It started subtly. She became more withdrawn, spent more time alone, and often seemed distracted. We started arguing more frequently over minor issues, and the atmosphere at home became increasingly tense. Emily seemed irritable and distant, which was out of character for her. I grew concerned and tried talking to her about what was happening. I wanted to understand why she seemed so different and if there was something I was doing wrong. But every time I brought it up, she avoided answering or gave vague responses that clarified nothing. It felt like she was pulling away, and I didn't know how to get her to open up. Eventually, I began to suspect infidelity. I noticed subtle signs that I had previously ignored or dismissed. For one, I found traces of other men in our apartment, things in our bed that I knew didn't come from me, and stains on her underwear that I hadn't left. I stopped being intimate with her. Emily started going out at night without explanations. She often didn't come home on time and was emotionally absent. When she was home, she sometimes invited other men into our apartment while I was sleeping. Though they tried to be quiet, I woke up more than once, and thankfully, she got them out before I could confront them. I also suspect she used our garage for similar activities. One morning, I walked in to find her adjusting her clothes. I didn't bother to comment, but we both knew what was happening. These discoveries made me feel worthless and angry. I couldn't understand why Emily was doing this, especially when she constantly talked about wanting children and building a family. It felt bizarre. How could she want a future with me while simultaneously sabotaging our relationship? When I tried discussing her behavior, she shrugged and said she would stop. But I could tell she didn't care. It was as if she knew I was beginning to see through her facade, but chose to ignore it. At the same time, she continued to talk about wanting kids and marriage, leaving me confused and hurt. I started questioning her motives and whether she genuinely wanted to build a future with me. Was this just a facade to keep me in the relationship, or was something deeper and darker driving her behavior? I felt trapped between my feelings of love and betrayal, unsure how to navigate such a complex situation. Eventually, I decided it was time to end the relationship. I couldn't handle the constant uncertainty and emotional strain anymore. When I told Emily about my decision, she was furious. She didn't understand my problem with her infidelity and called it a game, a word I could never reconcile with because it trivialized all the pain I felt. Emily claimed I couldn't back out of the relationship because I had invested so much time, and she was nearly 30. She argued that she needed to get pregnant to start a family before it was too late. It felt like she was putting all the pressure on me, leaving me with no choice. She often used the word she when talking about herself in relation to the future, which I found odd. It was as if she only saw herself as the one building our future, disregarding my needs and boundaries. Post-breakup. After the breakup, Emily started texting and calling every day for months. The messages ranged from apologies to accusations and occasionally intentionally hurtful comments about my intelligence, body, and performance in bed. She also sent photos of herself with other men, often during nights when she was likely intoxicated. These messages were a constant reminder of her betrayal and made it difficult for me to move on. I never responded to her messages but saved them out of concern for potential accusations. Eventually, the frequency of texts decreased, but when I started dating again, I made sure to inform my new partners about Emily. I didn't want anything to surprise them. My first new relationship lasted 2 weeks before Emily began harassing my partner. Emily showed up at her house and threatened her, causing my new girlfriend to end the relationship. You can't blame her. A new relationship isn't worth the chaos Emily brought. Now, I'm dating someone new, and things have been going well for 6 months. She's extremely attractive, spontaneous, lively, emotionally mature, and highly educated. We work in the same field, software development, and have a lot in common. I'm really worried about what might happen now. I've informed her about Emily, but need advice on how to avoid repeating the same problems as before. What can I do to protect myself and my new relationship from Emily's interference? Have any of you experienced something similar and can share your experiences? Update 1. I wanted to provide a quick update on my situation. So far, everything has been going well with my new relationship. Emily has sent sporadic messages but doesn't seem to know about my new girlfriend. I've read all your advice and am considering turning everything over to the police if she continues. The problem is, my new relationship is going really well. We do everything together: movies, theater, hockey, football, trips, and soon, we're going on our first vacation together. She often stays at my place, which makes me a bit worried since Emily might be keeping an eye on the cars parked outside. Has anyone experienced a similar situation? How can I ensure my new girlfriend is safe and that Emily can't interfere with our relationship again? Update 2. Unfortunately, the situation has worsened. Emily found out about my new girlfriend and sent a furious string of insults. She also tried to defame my new partner by claiming she's unfaithful, has STDs, and scams men for money. Here are some examples of what she wrote. She's not worth your time. She'll just hurt you. I know she sleeps around with lots of men. You deserve better. She's going to ruin your reputation at work. She never takes responsibility, just like you. I haven't responded to any of this, but now I'm worried my new girlfriend might be affected as well. I've informed her and she said she can handle it, which I find impressive. She's really strong. However, I'm now wondering if I should report Emily to the police for her harassment. I'm afraid doing so might make things worse and escalate her actions. She hasn't contacted my new girlfriend yet, but I don't know how long that will last. Has anyone experienced reporting someone in a similar situation? What steps should I take to protect both myself and my new relationship? Update 3. I have decided to report Emily to the police. The situation escalated when she showed up at my new girlfriend's place and started threatening her, even attempting to physically assault her. My girlfriend had to defend herself, knocking Emily down in the process. The police arrived quickly and arrested Emily, but she was released the next day. The following day, Emily's car was vandalized, requiring a complete repaint. Thankfully, there were cameras on site that clearly showed who was responsible for the damage. I handed everything over to the police, and now several charges have been filed. An investigation is ongoing, and Emily is currently in custody. It has been a stressful time, but I feel some relief knowing that the situation is finally being addressed. I will update you if anything more happens. Update 4. It has been about 4 months since my last update, and a lot has happened. There was a quick trial, and Emily was sentenced to 1 year and 3 months in prison. During the trial, it also came to light that she had advanced syphilis in stage 3, which can cause personality changes and psychosis. Toward the end of our relationship, she likely had an early stage, and because I discovered her infidelity quickly, I stopped being intimate with her. This likely saved me from being infected, and I got tested as soon as I realized she was unfaithful. Unfortunately, Emily did not get tested, and the disease progressed. Emily is now receiving treatment, and hopefully, she will change as she recovers. I genuinely hope these issues won't recur. My relationship with my new girlfriend is going great. I think she might be the one. We're planning to move in together after New Year's when the leases on our apartments expire. We're currently researching new housing. It feels amazing to be in a relationship that functions as it should and is built on love and respect. Thank you all for your advice and support. I should have listened to you earlier and reported her immediately. Maybe much of this wouldn't have happened.
If you liked this story, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up. It helps a lot, and you won't miss out on any future stories. Take care and live your best life.